evening, everybody. You're watching America First. My name is J Fuentes. We have a great show for you tonight. Very excited to be back here with you tonight on Tuesday. We have a lot to talk about tonight, lots to get into. Big show. Honestly, it's slow. It always slows down around this time of year, around the holiday season. So it's not, look, it's a regular, boring old news day. But it'll be a fun show. Fun show, but, well, it's not the biggest news ever. I'll tell you that for free. Our featured story, we're going to be talking all about the Ukraine peace deal, which is up in the air. And Trump has proposed a 28-point plan to end the war between Russia and Ukraine, and a draft has been released. You can read it online. We will work through some of the major points, but it doesn't contain any major surprises. It is basically what has been discussed from the very beginning of the Trump administration, at least. And it talks about giving Russia the territory that they've won in the Donbass, but also in the other provinces, giving them Crimea. We're going to take Russia's frozen assets and use it to fund Ukraine. We're giving Ukraine security guarantees, limiting the size of their army, preventing them from joining NATO, but opening up the possibility of joining the European Union. There are not a lot of major surprises. And Trump is going over the finer points of the deal with Zelensky. And it seems that there is not a lot of daylight between them anymore. Russia is seriously considering the proposal. But we're not getting ahead of ourselves. Trump says that he will not be meeting with Zelensky until it's a done deal, until they've effectively agreed already. Doesn't want a repeat of every other major summit where the plan doesn't actually come to fruition. So we'll talk all about that. We'll talk about the contents of the deal and the prospect that it will end the war, which I'm not really optimistic about. I don't really think that it was Ukraine which was holding up the process. Really, it's Russia. It seems really to be Russia which does not want to make the deal because they're winning. So why would they want to end the war? We'll talk about it. So far, the 20-point Gaza peace plan, that's not going so well. So we'll see if this is any better. We'll talk about that. We're also going to talk tonight about some rumors of a major shakeup headed to the White House. The Trump administration knows they're in trouble. They're in deep trouble. The polling has not been good, and it's been all over the place. And there are some outliers. There's one poll that says Trump is underwater 46 points with independents. I don't think it's that bad, but it's bad. If you look at any of the opinion polling or surveys, generic ballot, any of that stuff over the past few weeks, Trump's favorability is at an all-time low. And it looks as though the Democrats are almost certainly going to win the House in the midterms next year. The betting markets have them at 75% odds. Some of the generic ballot polling is brutal. It shows Democrats up 5, sometimes 5 points, sometimes double digits, more than 10 points over Republicans. And this follows the election on the off year, which happened a couple weeks ago, where Republicans got destroyed in Virginia, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, ostensibly in New York, although I think that's not really a great bellwether. And this is also very apparent if you're on the internet at all. On social media, it's very clear that public sentiment online is very decidedly against Trump. Growing dissatisfaction and division within the party ranks. And so, in response to all this, it looks like Trump is relenting. And he relented on the Epstein files and signed that into law. And now, it looks like Trump may be firing some key personnel in the administration. In particular, there's rumors that he'll fire the Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles. He'll fire the Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem. He's looking at firing the Secretary of Energy, Chris Wright, and maybe others. They say potentially Pete Hegseth, although that's, I think, less likely. So we'll talk about the shakeups. Of course, I think it's too little too late. It's over. That's it. I'm dead. That's it. It's cooked. I mean, it's over. And I know people don't like to hear that. I get it. Everybody wants to hear, okay, what's the plan? How are we going to get out there and save this administration? And every time I hear this from Alex Jones, and I like Alex, I'm going to do a show soon, and we're going to talk about it, but every time I hear that, I want to say, aren't you tired? And I say it every time. We've been doing this for 10 years. And it's like, hey, fat ass, could you keep your promises? We did our part. We delivered in 16. We delivered in 20. You all delivered in 24. It has been delivered on a silver platter. House, Senate, White House, electoral landslide, popular vote. You got 5, sometimes 6 out of 9 Supreme Court justices. Allegedly, Mitch McConnell transformed the federal judiciary. We've got, I think it's 25 or 26 governorships. So what more do you need from us to just deliver? Do what you said you would do. America first, MAGA, and then we're getting more H-1Bs on an average day than we're getting deportations. He says no new wars, and now we're getting wars we've never even heard of before. 100 special forces in Somalia today. War in Venezuela. War in Iran. Israeli fighter jets over Iraq today. You know, the economy is in shambles. Like, Republicans are now unpopular on immigration and the economy, which those are their issues. And for me, I look at it and say, what more do you need from us? You need a cheerleading section from the sideline on Twitter. You need Captive Dreamer and all those other idiots, Jack Posobiec and every other knucklehead to get on Twitter and say, oh, all right, guys, let's not criticize Trump. I mean, I'm over it. I'm over it. So they can shake it up. They probably won't. Who cares? They'll bring in people that are as bad or worse. That's how they operate. So we'll talk about it. And by the way, I'm not black-pilled in general, but this administration is not going to finish the job. I didn't vote for it because I saw that coming. The good news is the failure of MAGA might create opportunities in the future. That's why it's your job to get involved. I'm not black-pilled for people that say, oh, so what's the solution? Well, the solution is not to cast your vote and cross your fingers and pray to Donald Trump that it's going to be okay. The solution is Groypers need to get in power. It's what I've been saying. But we'll talk about all that. Before we do, I want to remind you to check out the store, Fuentes.store, to get your merch. We have credit card processing. The Jews let us have credit cards. You know, I said that Charlie Kirk was not killed by Israel, and I got a call from the Jews, and they said, good goy. They said, good goy. You can have your credit cards back. Here's your bank account. We're going to pay you millions of dollars because you're covering it up. I said, thank you so much. Wow, that was easy. I love it. No, I'm joking, of course. No, we had to go to a third world country and get it. It's a big pain in the ass. But we finally got it. All these people complaining. You know, people are like, I will die for you, Mr. Fuentes. I will die for you. And then you go, hey, do you think you could figure out Litecoin to buy this hat? And people go, what the fuck? You don't have Apple Pay? people say, what the fuck? You don't have Apple Pay? What the hell is this? I got to figure out this Litecoin. You know, you need to. It's like, yeah, you know, you're fighting the Jews. You can't get a bank account, but we got it. Fuentes.store. Get your hats. Get the hats. Get the shirt. Now the hats you might not get in time for Christmas, but the shirt is going to ship right away, and we might have a little Black Friday merch drop potentially. People have been begging for a hoodie, a sweatshirt, other stuff. Maybe there will be Santa Claus might be coming early. Might be a little Black Friday merch drop. Little Black Friday. We're going to commercialize Christmas. I know that, you know, people I can already tell they're going to say, well, you're commercializing the holidays. Look, people want to buy their loved ones a shirt that says white nigger going hard as fuck. Let them buy the shirt. Let them buy the shirt. People want to say Merry Christmas to their loved ones, to their spouse, to their child, by getting them a shirt that has an acronym that contains the N-word. The Wang Half shirt, there might be more. and it's going to go live later this week with credit card, Fuentes.store. Check it out. And the shirts, the sweatshirts, you're going to get that in a couple of weeks because it's print on demand. So we don't have to deal with the backlog. Anyway, check out the store. Check out the subscription, AmericaFirst.plus. If you're a super fan of the show, subscribe. Pay me money for it. You know, that would be nice, actually. $15 a month, you get access to the whole archive. $100 a month, you get access to me in a private group chat with you and all your friends. And I'm in there, and, you know, you think the show is unfiltered. I get in the group chat, and I just go raw. I roll out of bed. I'm burping. I'm like half asleep. I'm belligerent. Sometimes I'm pissed off. I'm screaming. And I go off. I'm in there dropping voice messages, dropping knowledge every day. So if you want the all access pass, AmericaFirst.plus, check it out. What else? Yeah, I guess that's it. I didn't do a show last night. I was with the family. All good stuff, but with the family for the holidays. My interview with Jack Neal dropped yesterday. This is a collab I did some time ago. I didn't do it this weekend. I did it a couple of weeks ago. And I thought it turned out really great. And Jack Neal, he's very popular on Instagram, very popular on TikTok. He's interviewed Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, Candace, a lot of big people. And he came out to Chicago. He took me to the ghetto. I wasn't thrilled with that. I had to get off of 290 at Independence Boulevard. He almost killed me. I told him, don't get a studio in the ghetto. And he got the studio in Humboldt Park. I said, great. Awesome. Friday afternoon, what could go wrong? No, but I went out there and it was a lot. I thought it was, I'm just kidding a little bit, but that is a true story. It was an excellent interview. The reviews are great. I don't know that I was surprised. I didn't think I had a great performance, honestly, but I think it turned out excellent. The comments were very positive. All the comments said, this is the best interview I've seen. This is a real interview. This is actually a discussion. Great questions. So I think people really enjoyed it. It was a good interview. It was about 2.5 hours, I think. Pretty decent size. And, yeah, it was a lot of fun. So check it out. I linked it on my Telegram. It's Jack Neal, Neel, on YouTube. Make sure to check it out. I thought it was an excellent, because we covered a lot of different topics. It wasn't the biographical stuff. So it was a little refreshing. Because I feel like a lot of these interviews, they just say, they want to do my Wikipedia page. They want to lecture me about the N-word, about anti-Semitism, about white supremacy, about race mixing. And I'm like, haven't we done this already? I mean, give a guy a break. Can you give a goy a break? So this one was actually good, very topical. So check it out. It's on YouTube. Good guy. Nice guy. Yeah, the other thing I wanted to get into before we dive into the show. Oh, also, schedule for this week. I'll be here tomorrow. I will not be here Thursday, obviously. It's Thanksgiving. And most likely I will not be here on Friday. But I'll be here tomorrow. It's a holiday. It's a weird week. Thanksgiving's always a weird, kind of an awkward week because you have plans with the family. But I'll be back next week for the full week. So you're not missing out. No one's getting cheated, okay? But one other thing before we get into the show. Last week, I did an extended show talking about all these Jewish conferences. I know how that sounds, but it's what it is. It's so weird because you talk to normal people and you feel like a crazy person. But you look at these things and what else are you supposed to say? I did a whole show about it last week. I go on Tucker Carlson's show. It's really an uneventful interview. It's not even the best interview I've ever given. It's pretty boring, honestly. And it causes an international crisis. It's another Holocaust. The anti-Semites are at the gates, And it's in the New York Times 5 days a week. It's in the Washington Post. The president is talking about it. People are making a personal appeal to the vice president. The Speaker of the House is getting involved. And then on the sideline of all that, the organized Jewish community is freaking out and they hold their meetings. You know, that's just how